Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Lisa Dublin. I am a health and life coach, and I help you to speak, to lead, and to live with confidence because I have found, as have my clients and students, that confidence makes all the difference. Confidence makes you see opportunities that you would not even have considered. Confidence gives you a creativity that you did not have before. Confidence makes you not think of being self conscious of what people are going to say and to step out and to grab from life what it is you want. So I hope you feel that way today. Let me just go on Instagram and let me see if they can see and hear me here. If not, we're just gonna go with whoever is here. I'm not sure why it's not working, but that's fine. I'll do Instagram after. But wherever you're watching me from, how's your day going? The topic for today was what to do when you're in a rut, and I will not take up much of your time. I just needed to tell you a couple things before we begin because I've got some very practical steps. I haven't been in a rut too many times myself. Has that ever been you where you are that person, maybe in terms of exercise or in terms of getting up? Oh my goodness, that is a big one. Getting up and doing what you have to do, or you have a project and you keep on procrastinating, spinning top in mud or snow, wherever you find yourself, whatever part of the world, because you simply, it's for a couple of reasons that we're going to talk about. But before we go there, can I just tell you that the new episode of Basement Chronicles is out and it's called Lifting Heavy. Tell me if you can see it wherever you are watching. Please go to Apple Podcasts. I just really, a client was speaking to me this week and said to me that if you have an Android phone, you don't have access to the Apple Podcast. So then you can go to Spotify and you can get the podcast there. I think the Google link, the Google podcast, they are still around, but I mean, the Google podcasts are going to be phased out very soon. So which is why I don't even push it. But you can find the podcast there as well. However, let me just put the link because you can actually also listen in on my website. So here's the link that you can go listen. I hope that works. I copied it off from my website. So please, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, that link just popped up. Please go and you can just listen there because it's a very vulnerable episode, and I'm talking about what happens when, as a teacher, as a coach, as a trainer, what happens when your students start to blow up. Like, how do you situate yourself in the whole narrative? How do you see yourself? I've had occasion to see it in action and to experience it myself. I've had occasion to see the people I consider the gurus in fields that I follow bring in students who in some way do better than them. And it has been so interesting to see how these people then what do they do? How do they act? Do they forget who they are? Do they forget to some extent that the reason those greats came to you was because you could lift heavy? Okay. And I've always been the person who goes after those kinds of clients, the heavyweights, the ones who can do great things, the ones who people like to hate because they're too talented and they seem to just have too much. But what happens when, through training and education, through doing your little part in such people's lives, they begin to blow up? And I've had to reckon with it as a speaker, as a coach, because my students are in spheres where they are atmospheric now. Like some people, I don't even advertise anymore because they're getting up there, they're getting that big, they're getting that known in their fields. And it has been twofold: a wonder to stand back and to watch and to see this in action, and then to do the human thing, which is what I talk about in the podcast. So please go on Apple or on Spotify, or or you can do Google, or you can just go on my website. Just go lisamdublin.com, okay? And you can see the podcast there. You can listen to it there. It's also on YouTube on the Basement Chronicles YouTube channel. So if you go there, it was just published, then you can listen. But I've had to reckon with that. And I'm very vulnerable, in the episode about how to recognize and stay in your lane. Know that if you are that person who is lifting heavy, stay in your lane, do your thing. I've seen the people I admire just simply kind of lose sight of who they are because they are so focused on what the student is doing. Like, you cannot do that. It means that you're not very much aware of who you are and what you do, and that can be to your detriment. So I hope you give me some feedback on the podcast. I really want to make it better. And the only way that happens is if the people who listen regularly can say to me, hey, I like that episode. Hey, I didn't like that one. This is what you can do better. I think this would might be a good topic for you to do in the future, that kind of thing. So I'm hoping that we can do that in the future. Okay. I'm really hoping we can. So you guys, let me just share my podcast. Let me just share the link in my To All the Girls Club right now. And give me 1 second and I'll get to the topic. I think you need to hear this topic. You know why? Because too many times we get in a rut and we don't know what to do. Too many times we get into a space where it's difficult to get out of, like, what next do I do? I had all these goals and I had all of these plans. All of a sudden, I don't know what to do. I'm going to tell you how. Just bear with me just as I put this page. Oh my goodness. I am trying to put it in To All the Girls. You guys, if you're into All the Girls, can you share it? Let me just share it to a group. Okay, there we go. I just did it. And so people in the To All the Girls Success Club can join me. Let's talk. Why do we lose steam? Why do we like seem to unravel out of being so tightly focused on one thing? Why? It's for a couple reasons, and I want to mention two and to take it from there. The first reason that we kind of come out of the process of goal setting, of out of routine, is because we forget the reason we wanted to do it in the first place. Isn't that true? You know, I love running, as you guys know, and I always use it as a metaphor. Yes, it's a physical exercise that I enjoy. More than that, I think I love to use running as a metaphor for life. Okay. And the number of times that, as much as I love running, the number of runs that just never happen, there's just no time to tell people when they don't happen. The number of runs that don't happen because I don't feel like, because I didn't prepare from the night before, because all the things. So as many runs as happen don't. And I think anybody who achieves anything will tell you that it doesn't always mean that you are just on a consistent roll all the time. The way you get to a goal is because you do more of one thing than less of not doing it, if that makes any sense. The first reason is because we forget. Once you see you start to think about, I don't feel like, you have forgotten the reason you wanted to do it in the first place. And I'm going to use running. Why do I run? I'm 48. It's not just a matter of running to keep in shape. I'm running for mobility. I'm running so that these limbs keep on working. I'm running so that I'm exercising regularly so that I don't want to have any lifestyle diseases. It keeps you back. I want to be able to lift up my laundry basket, right? I want to do all the things. I want to be healthy. I want to be able to be in that physical mode where my body can cooperate with the rate at which my mind is going. When I lose sight of that goal, I enter the realm of I don't feel like. No, no, this is about you, not me. Okay. So you think about the last time you got into I don't feel like. I know I don't feel like doing this today. I don't feel like exercising. I don't feel like doing what I'm supposed to do. Think about the last time you got there. And I guarantee you, I'm pretty sure part of the reason is because you forgot the reason you wanted to do that thing in the first place. You know how I know that? The minute you go back to the focus on why you want to accomplish this goal, Why do I want to run? Why do I want to eat healthy? Why do I want to get up early and do what I'm supposed to do? Why do I want to read this book, go to this class, save this money? Why even do I want to be in this marriage? Let's not even go there. The minute you go back to the reason behind the thing you want to do, you get out of feelings. How do I know that? Because the minute I begin to focus on my goals, it's not a matter of whether I want to run or not. I take the focus on your goal, the focus on the reason behind the why behind doing this thing. It takes you out of feeling, which tells me a couple things about just feeling something. We can't trust our feelings. And so the first step to get out of a rut is to go back and remember. Either perhaps you have it written, either perhaps you can pull it up quickly. I use the Google Suite a lot, and there's an application in there. I always mention it to my clients, Google Keep, where you can just simply pull up, you write things in it, like I think there's Note, Evernote. It's one of those things. Any of these applications, write down your goals, write down the goals for the year. When you get into a rut and you don't feel like, open up those goals and figure out why you wanted to do it in the first place, and see whether, my dear sister, my dear brother listening to me today, whether you don't just simply get out of the rut and you start to look at it differently. So we can't trust our feelings. We cannot trust our feelings. And the more you get to the point where you are working out of routine, out of making life atomic habits that make sense, is the better you are at accomplishing the goals, because you are almost doing it by rote. Feelings don't even play a part in it. I think where many of us fail is that we don't let our habits become routines that become that automatic response to life. The things that you don't struggle with, they perhaps are very automatic. If you wake up every morning and you go brush your teeth, by now you just do it automatically. It's not a struggle for you anymore. And part, I think, of the goal of the person who's into personal development, like I am, and that's like mostly everybody I know, will be to, as much as possible, to get the things that you want, the behaviors that you want to encourage in your life, to get them into habits and routines. Does that make sense? So here's the first point is that you go back to remembering the reason you wanted to do this thing, that now you're like, oh, I don't want to do it. Oh, I don't feel like today. Oh, I have a headache. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. I always say, like, anyway, let me leave that for the like, beasts just do what beasts have to do, right? Unless you're dying, show up. Unless it's virtually impossible for you to do that thing, show up. Show up. So, hi, Tara. How are you? Good day to you, too. So, the second point is, and this for me is what I call a grounding question. After you have decided why you want to do this, so you kind of like get back in the mode of focus, Lisa, focus, Tara, focus, whoever is watching me today, then it can get a bit overwhelming. It really can. You guys, hold on. My husband's calling me. That I will send him a message and say, hey, I'm going live. Sorry about that. The second reason, the second step is for you to figure out this grounding question. What does life require of me right now? I am not sure what it is about that question that brings all of your focus to bear on the moment in question. What does life require of me right now to accomplish this goal? You know what it does? It takes away from the overwhelm. Because many times when you think of how much you have to do, you get in a tizzy. Does that happen to anybody here? Like, that happens to me a lot. When I think of everything that I have to do, oh my goodness, like you get so overwhelmed, you end up not doing anything whatsoever. Can anybody identify with that? And the way that you get out of that is, first of all, and point number three also speaks to practical steps for getting out of the rut. Point number two is to ask yourself the question, the grounding question, the focusing question, the question that beasts ask. What does life require of me right now? Right now, not tomorrow. You wasted yesterday. You was in a rut yesterday. We're not doing that today. Right now, at this time, 12 o'clock, halfway through the day, if I'm getting out of this rut, I have just remembered the reason that I want to do and to be this person and to do those things. The next thing is to remember, like, right now, what can I do? What does life require of me right now to get to this goal? What can I do right now? Not tomorrow, not for the rest of my life, you guys. And I like to call this method, I was speaking and coaching a client on it recently. I like to call this method the quarter mile. The quarter mile method. Did I tell you guys about me and my treadmill? You've heard about it, right? So on my treadmill, I still have like a little traditional treadmill. It's not a Peloton yet. It just still has like a digital display. It has Bluetooth, right? But I bought it during the pandemic, 2020, and after that, like treadmills just blew up and just got so sophisticated. After I bought it, okay, I'm always an early adopter, so yeah. Anywho, so on the display of my treadmill, you can see a quarter mile at a time. You can see the lap. Okay, it's a quarter mile. That's it at a time. I think maybe I said it that way. I can't remember. Anywho, I like to use that as a way to limit my focus. What is your quarter mile right now, you person who wants to accomplish this big goal? Can you reduce life to just the quarter mile? It takes away from the overwhelm. It lets you see clearly what's in front of you. All of a sudden, the goal looks more manageable because all I have to deal with right now is the quarter mile. You know how that works for me in running? So I really like, I've run a half marathon and I'm hoping to get back there and maybe at some point to run full marathons. But many times, because I mean, I'm not just a runner. I'm also a mom, a wife, an entrepreneur, the coach, the everything. And I find that as much as running helps to ground me, I've got to be in a certain space to be able to run. Otherwise, Lisa, just walk. Just walk. Friend, just walk. Because some days the run ain't happening, even with everything that I've said, because it really is like a mental workout to be able to do it. So when I do it very early in the morning, before everybody wakes up, I'm good. But many times, life gets in the way and I can't. And so the quarter mile, looking at that lap and not thinking of how long I have to run, but just thinking of getting to the next quarter mile, staying within this quarter mile and just seeing the lap going. All I have to do is keep on moving my legs, keep on moving my body, keep on moving my body. The goal is just this quarter mile. I can see it. I can do it. It's manageable. What's your quarter mile? For that big goal that looks so overwhelming right now, for that big goal that is almost paralyzing you with the fear and the magnitude of what you have to do. How can you reduce it to quarter miles? So you need a quarter mile strategy for the times when it gets hard like this. And we're coming up on halftime. I have something planned for people from June. It's going to be amazing. Halftime is coming up. Okay. And some people haven't done what they're supposed to. You need to now kick into high gear. And so just keep on following me if you haven't already and get ready for stuff happening in June. That will help people to ground yourself, to focus, to keep on doing the foundational things upon which you can build your goals. But what's your quarter mile? What is your quarter mile? Once you figure that out, it's the answer to the question, what does life require of me right this minute? Last thing that you do, I won't give everything today because I want to talk to you all about other things. Last thing is write it down. I use the Todoist app, but I know people do other things. Whatever app, whatever little secretive notebook, whatever you use as a way of giving direction to your day, most likely the reason that you found yourself in a rut is because you stopped writing things down. It's because you stopped being that careful with your goals. So, number one, you're going to remember your focus. You want to remember the reason you want to accomplish this, and that gets you out of your feelings. Number two, you want to ask yourself the question, what does life require of me right now to get this done? What little thing can I do in the space of my quarter mile right now to make this possible? Nobody asked you about tomorrow. It's not promised. That's what the good book says. Oh, did it? It says sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. Like, deal with your stuff today, okay? Right? And then you're going to write it down. Either put the minute I write things down, there's a relief. I don't have to remember it all. And it's almost as if when you write down your goals and the steps, the things that you want to do in a day, like it takes some of the pressure off of remembering to do them. It's probably a mental thing. Maybe somebody else has clarity on that. I don't know. But it really does work. So you don't have to stay in a rut. When you I'm telling you that this process works. It works for me every time. Right now, and other things also work. It works to sometimes one conversation with a coach or with somebody who's doing what I want to do. Seeing that person in action, hearing them say certain things, it gets me moving as well. So let us not discount the advantage of possibility, of accountability, of getting with people who are also doing the things that we want. But you know what? I'm saying to us this today, to you today, because I tell myself that all the time because I'm so much in a rut. Many times it's to refocus, go back to the reason you wanted to show up, the reason you wanted to exercise, the reason you had put the plan for eating in place. It was because you were heading towards a health goal or a weight goal. Remembering the reason can help you in that moment when you are in a rut or you are wanting to do the thing that you know goes against the goal. It can help you to refocus. Do it. Do it, you guys. We don't have time. Do it. We've wasted a lot of time, and I'm big on like relaxation, taking care of yourself, sleeping a whole lot, to getting your sleep. That's important. But I'm also big on when you are going to work, make it count. Make it count. And this is one way to do that. So I hope this helped you. I hope this gave you a pep, give you a shot in the arm, okay? An espresso shot for you to go out and for you to remember the reason that you wanted to do certain things and to go ahead and to do them. Okay. So you guys, last thing I want to tell you, oh my goodness, like we just have just a couple spots left for Speak with Confidence. Okay. So just a couple spots left. I still have a couple consultations that people have signed up for in the days ahead. So let's see what happens. But it's first come, first serve. Okay. I'm going to cut it off once I've got to my quota. And we're going to, the class is almost full. It's a lovely group. We have business people in there. We have executives in there. We have professionals in there who are wanting to up the game of speaking. It's not just speaking, Most of the people in there are coming for speaking. Everybody's coming for confidence, to step out and to kind of look at themselves in a certain way so that you become the kind of person who steps out. That's what happens in the program. You become the kind of person who goes out and shines and is accustomed to being seen and has no problem with being seen and doing great things in the world. When you are done, I was saying that on a consult yesterday. Somebody mentioned that, oh, yeah, she's in a job where she always has to be doing interviews and so on, but she's deathly shy of cameras. And I very, 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 very confidently said to her, when you are done with Speak with Confidence, oh, you will never be shy before a camera again. They'll be your best friends. You know why? The reason that this does not phase me out is because I've done it so many times. The reason that I've been doing video, doing live TV, national TV, okay, back in the day, did that, crushed that, enjoyed it. But it's really like confidence is a muscle. So you can just imagine the very first time that I stepped on, I did live TV. I must have been a mess. I can't remember it right now, but I'm pretty sure there are the tapes at HGS to prove it. Or even before that, I did youth talk. I did. So it's been a minute. My point is, at which point are you going to wait for you to get good at telling people what you do, the value you bring, at proving your credibility with opening your mouth and speaking up, accent and all? At which point are you going to deal with this? This is one cohort this year, and forever after, like as long as I run Speak with Confidence, I'm going to be having one cohort a year because I want the best people, the people who are hungry for this, to be in the class. It's running from, let me put it up on the screen again so you can see. It's running from May 2nd to the 30th, and it's a rigorous class. So you have to be ready. I've said to all the students, clear your calendar. It is 1 month, more or less, 5 weeks together, working at one thing, getting confident and authentic as a speaker. And you'll know yourself. I don't have to say what you can do with that. Okay. The testimonials are literally on. Let me see if I can put this up. The testimonials are on my website, lisamdublin.com/SWC. You can go find out more about the program there. Or you can book a call with me right there on the program. Please don't forget to like and share this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the subscribe button, then hit the share button. Okay, let me know that you're enjoying this. What is the benefit of doing that? So every time I release a podcast or anytime I release like a new video, then you will be informed. So go to my website, lisamdublin.com /SWC. Okay, there you go. So you can go sign up here. Go to lisamdublin.com to sign up. Okay, there's no more wait list though. So let me just put this down there and see if I can get this. Yeah, this is probably the one I should put on. Let me put it on. Okay, folks. So if that is you, there's only one program this year. So you need to get into the program as soon as possible. Okay, I have a couple of things that I'm just not looking right here, but it's okay, you guys. So just a couple of seats left in the class for May, and we're taking the best people. With the best people, the best people. So you want to be one of those. Many people have already signed up. Class is looking really well. Entrepreneurs, executives, professionals, the usual mix of immigrants, of people from the island and islands actually this time. Yeah. So come in and, take your place, take your seat, have a consultation with me. Like, don't wait for it. I've gone over a lot of the benefits of joining the program. You get one-on-one time with me, one-on-one coaching time. A lot of people are looking forward to that. Even when like doing I've done a couple consultations with past students to ask which parts of the program did you enjoy the most, and a lot of people have pointed to, even though it is a group program, the fact that every single week in the 5 weeks, there's time built in for me to meet with every student. That means a lot to them, because speaking is not just speaking. What do you see when you see me speaking? Like, it's not just the voice and the content. A whole person, a whole human being speaks with, you come from somewhere. You come from different coordinates. Like, why am I speaking at 12 o'clock today? Right? That, and what's in the background and what's going on with me? Where's the dog? Like, what am I doing? All of these things come together to actually make or to break your speaking experience. And in the one on one coaching, we really go into who you are being on stage. In fact, if you enter right now, if you sign up, what's going to happen is the speaking school is the continuous learning arm of the Speak with Confidence program. I realized maybe around cohort 4 or 5 that the students would get better, the confidence goes up, and the authenticity stays. Like, that is seeped in. Oh my goodness. But what happens is a lot of people just simply go back to not showing up. I understand, because I'm in the business of speaking, that speaking is a muscle. So you have to continue practicing and you have to continue giving yourself opportunities to speak. And so I came up with the speaking school. After you graduate from the program, you get enrolled in the speaking school, and we meet once a month to continue to practice in some form of fashion, to continue to have opportunities to speak as well as a presenter in the class. Or, and also I continue to teach them things about speaking. So last month we looked at the art of conversation, everything around communication. That this is a program for you. That's your thing. Okay. Today, on Sunday, we meet every third Sunday. On Sunday, we will be looking at how to love yourself on stage. Do you know some people have such a great message, and what keeps them back is because you know how you see this ticker tape running right now on the screen? If you're watching me anywhere but Instagram, you can see it. Many people, what's running there in their head is, I am ugly. I am not good enough. Oh my gosh, people can see all my flaws. Oh my goodness, my accent is strange. What else? You tell me. Whatever is running there that is keeping you from showing up and giving your best and speaking to your thirsty person, right? In class on Sunday for the speaking school, we'll talk about how to love who you are on stage, because it is a prerequisite for totally emptying your mind of all of these negativities so that you can stand up and give people the gift of yourself. And that's one thing you're going to learn in the Speak with Confidence program, that when you speak, you are a gift. And how you show up, to what you say, how you respond to people. Gift, gift, gift. The gift that keeps on giving. So I hope to see you in the program. Go to my website, lisamdublin.com/SWC. And I would like you to sign up you can either sign up for a consultation, okay? Or you can just go. Some people have just simply gone and just signed up for the program. And then I'm like, okay, who's this? And then realize somebody has seen the value of it and they've just simply signed up. So here it is again. I'll put the thing on the screen. Speak with Confidence 8. It takes place May 2nd to the 30th. And it's the only program this year. Okay. So get in while you can. Just a couple seats left. And so we can just start that process of getting you in the know of confidence and authenticity. Okay, you guys, I'm gone. I have mommy duties now. Okay. Bye, everybody. I hope you get out of the rut with the points that I've given. And don't forget to go subscribe to my podcast and just enjoy uninterrupted time with me and my mind, if that makes any sense. Bye, everybody. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow, and it will be at 6 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Bye. Take care.